Secure the area.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Douglas gets it's your man Zach908, aka the Dig Dug himself. I would say Robo Fiends, but you're not Robo Fiends, you're Monster Hunters and you're Monster Honeys. Now, today, we are looking at Barioth. Barioth is a pretty little kitty who made his debut in the 3rd generation in Monster Hunter Tri. He's since not really and truly and earnestly been featured since then. Now, I know before you guys get to starting, oh, Dad, wait a minute, he was in 3U and all them other games. That was not Barioth. That was an imposter, okay? The feeling, the raw of what Barioth is was only dated in Monster Hunter Tri. 3U was close, but they declawed my man's right here. In this game, he comes back in full form. I'm actually a huge fan of actually what they did with my man right here. In all honesty, he's the prettiest kitty of the bunch. You have a couple pretty kitties. A couple of monsters use the same exact skeleton. I'm looking at Nargacuga. I'm looking at Tigrex. They all are pale in comparison to how they do my man's right here. Barioth is done very well, and truth be told, as being the stand-up, the stand-off, the walk-out, the first up, the main thing you'll probably get to fight first in terms of the kitty cats, it's kind of weird they put him first because he's the best. Now I understand why. He does do a little bit less damage than others, but his mix-up games, the things he actually has at his disposal, his tools and things like that, far exceed that of the Nargacuga, far exceed that of the Tigrex. However, I will say they did a lot of things that they changed in the previous games where they fixed a lot of the hitboxes. I could go on for days and days and days how a lot of hitboxes have been changed. First and foremost, I will say 2 things about something you should really know if you've ever played with him before. His tail sweep, the one he's been doing quite some time now, is actually a lot easier to block. Back in the day, if you were to block it, there would be, even if you had guard +2, which is the highest you can get back then, you would still get a considerable amount of, considerable amount of pushback, making it relatively ineffective for you to actually block it. But then again, you don't want to get hit with it because it kind of hits pretty decently hard. But in this game, you could block it, no issues. Also, it doesn't have a weird hitbox that's closer to his body, so if you're actually within his body and you think you're going to get away for free because he does that attack, that is a negative Ghost Rider, you would get hit with that. As of now, you don't. So you could be inside his body when he does his attack, that attack right there on screen, and you'll be fine. So that's kind of cool. However, if you have PTSD about it like myself, you will remember that that was a thing, and you'll sometimes try to block it even when it's not an issue anymore. Regardless, young pretty kitty Barioth is really good. So off the top, main weaknesses being fire. By now, you probably don't have a lot of fire if you've been going straight with the story path. I implore you now, as of right now, you should probably start exploring the older monsters, upgrade those other weapons you have from before, because they're going to really help you with some of the monsters coming up from now on, because there's a lot of monsters who are going to debut who don't have weaknesses to the things that you've already fought prior. That's not a huge surprise because we've been fighting a lot of ice-based monsters up until this point. So I recommend you guys, if not anytime sooner, definitely now go out and find monsters who have elemental attacks. Like go find a Rathalos. It'll be tough to fight them, but find Rathalos or something. Find like anybody who can give you fire, who can give you thunder. I totally recommend going out and upgrading your Topikadachi weapons, so on and so forth. Do this so that way you stand a fighting chance in these later monsters, because they get pretty tough. Okay, they start to get pretty. This is where it gets tough. My man Barioth right here is the gatekeeper. Okay, so what a gatekeeper is like, I'm gonna sit here and see if you've been paying attention as of late to make sure you've been pressing the correct amount of buttons at the right times, so that way you're not like trash. So that's what my man Barioth does. But for the most part, he's an ice cat. He shoots a lot of icy type of weapons. What is this? Daemon Ex Machina? A video game you should all play and watch videos of mine from. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. However, he has ice-based attacks. He likes to shoot ice balls. He can do this from the sky. He can do this from the ground. His tail sweeps can also give you ice blight as well. So if you have a good amount of ice resistance when going in here, you should be relatively okay. But his quick movements, his ability to actually always want to stay behind you should be something you should really worry about, because he moves fairly quickly, and he really likes to put you in a position where you're uncomfortable all the time. So with that said, knowing what to do when fighting Barioth is very crucial. I recommend you guys go in here with a weapon that is actually a little bit faster. Using a gun lance like I'm using right now isn't impossible to do. Using a lance isn't impossible to do, but truth be told, I actually highly recommend you guys use things like longsword, insect glaive, especially insect glaive, to make use of the mounting, because he actually is a lot easier to mount than you'd actually like to think. Sword and shield would be great. You just want to move as quick as he does, because if you're moving very, very slow, it's going to be really tough to actually warrant the use of anything else when you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, maybe I can actually turn around and, you know, justify an attack right here, right now, when you can't because you move too slow to actually combo up with that attack. So my recommendation is actually going here with a little bit something a little swifter. I mean, you can get away with the heavier stuff. This game was designed for you to actually use any weapon to be to do good on. But if you're actually, I guess, skilled at using faster based weapons, you're gonna have a lot easier of a time, because you can actually match his speed on his attacks. Where other weapons, not so much, and it's a little bit harder to do so. So with that said, let's actually talk about the gear that he actually gives. This is going to be a relatively quick video, I might add, because I'm running way low on time. I'm really trying to like push these out, and I'm running so far behind on videos. Rajang, as I speak, is out. Haven't even seen the guy yet. So I don't know when I'm gonna make that video for you guys. Hopefully soon, if I get some friends to give me some gameplay and we can talk it out, just so I can teach you guys how to fight Rajang after I've seen how to fight him myself. But moving over, let's take a look at his gear. So one thing veterans will note, certainly right off the top, is the fact that my man Barioth gives you high rank armor. It is a pisser. We were so hoping for G rank armor because there were trench coats in G rank armor. Nevertheless, the skills what we're here for. Now, the alpha version gives you max constitution, which makes it super good for people who like to actually run around and dodge and sprint and jump in the air and whatnot. Amazing for lancers because we lose next to no stamina when blocking or anything. It's absolutely perfect. After that, we're looking at recovery up, meaning that when you take a potion, you'll get more out of that potion, which is actually really, really good. Then you got power prolonger. This is again a skill that I was talking about for, not what talking about, but this is a skill for those guys like longsword, switch axe. It actually allows you to be in your powered up state longer. Really useful skill. After that, we got evade extender, dodging further away, which is fantastic for lances as well. In certain cases, it's iffy on certain. It's better with gun lance. It's better with gun lance because you don't need to be in the same space for your combos to connect, because you can actually do a running attack. Anyway, and then we're looking at quick sheath, which is nice. Quick sheath is always good because it allows you to put your weapon up a lot faster. In most cases, a lot of weapons have really slow animations. Lance has slow animations, gun lance has slow animations, greatsword slow animations, so on and so forth. Now moving to the beta, it's all the same thing. Your armor changes a little bit, but you lose 3 points in the constitution, 1 point to recovery up, and I believe that's it. I believe that's it. Yeah, you just lose a lot of points to certain things. In my opinion, not worth going beta all the way. With this said, I recommend going with a mix on this one. I decided to go 3 alpha and 2 beta. But the set skill is actually punishing draw. What it does is it allows you to actually have a bit of stun damage that you can actually provide to monsters. What does that mean? That if you can connect that to a monster's face, even if you don't have a impact weapon, to stun a monster potentially. Also, it slightly increases your attack power, which is good. I can't really understand how great that actually is in all things considered, because it just means that's free attack. So if we were to have punishing draw and attack 7, dude, what? That's actually, hold on, that's actually, wait a minute, dude, that's actually pretty good. I'm gonna have to try that. Like I theory things a lot when I make these videos, but I never really put a lot of them into practice because, well, I don't have the time to do so. But that actually might be a pretty useful tactic. I'm gonna have to see what man Soji says about that. Regardless, weapons, let's talk about those really quickly. They have high affinity. Rough, woof, bow wow. 15 to 25% affinity on most of his weapons. The element, of course, is going to be ice. The attack is going to be slightly above average. Barioth was never known to actually have the highest attack in the game when it comes to his weapons. However, he usually has average to below average attack. This time, they actually gave him a tiny oomph of an increase in terms of the damage, which isn't all that bad. The sharpness on the weapons are very good too, and the ice is very solid. The coolest thing about him, though, if you really want to think about it, is that his ice weapons have a unique look. They don't look like the standard flare of, you know, just, oh, it kind of looks like, you know, the weapon I was using before I upgraded to it, because they just happened to like duct tape a couple monster parts to my metal lance or something like that. Or where most others look like that. Now, the difference between this one and Legiana is that Legiana has even less attack, a bit more sharpness, and a bit more element. So truth be told, I'd probably still run Barioth because the higher number on the attack is good. The actual sharpness to give you is actually still really good. I mean, they both have very large chunks of white sharpness and eventually going into purple and things and the like that. Couple that with the actual raw damage that his weapons give, being of a higher number than that of Legiana. If you do the mathematics, you're getting more slap out of the Barioth weapons than you would the Legiana weapons anyway, outside of maybe if you want to add in elemental factors. But truth be told, How many monsters are weak to ice that you're really gonna use ice weapon on when you can use something else? I don't know. That's a question I'm actually asking you guys. Well, like Odageron, he has like 4 health. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so his weapons are very good. I recommend them. The armor is okay. I would absolutely recommend that punishing draw skill though. Take 2 pieces, probably the head and I think the arms. I would take those 2. I think those are the ones that have a lot of constitution on them. So that way I'd have a lot of constitution and punishing draw on a set that's probably really, really good for myself. Maybe a lance, something like that, because, you know, I am a lancer. But with that being said, everyone, not much else to say. I mean, there's a few bit more to say, but I don't want to stay here all day. I don't have too much time for the most part. Let's wrap it up. Let's say this. Barioth moves very quickly. He does do a lot of ice type attacks. He has his ice ball breath. He can cling against the walls when in certain areas, like this area that we're in right now. I shouldn't say that because I'm probably going to edit to where it is close to the end of the video, but when put in certain areas, he can cling to the walls, and then from those walls he can shoot ice balls or even jump down and pounce on you as well. So he has the ability to wall cling when in certain areas. He has the ability to shoot ice balls from in the sky and on the ground. He uses his tail very well to actually reach further out than you like for him to think that you could that he rather could reach out to you. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. One take. That's what we're getting out of this. But if you stay close to him, the tail doesn't bother you too much. But the one thing that will kind of get you is his quick lunges. Those can be a bit of a bother, especially if you're like kind of close to the front side of his body, to where you can't really tell if that's going to be the quick lunge itself or an actual just, I don't know, a bite of some sort that you can actually not be hit by. However, that being the case, just note that when you get in close on him, try to stay to the back side a little bit to him, so that way you're not hit with that quick lunging hitbox, and you can still get a lot of other attacks off very well. Again, use fire weapons when actually going to combat, my mans. And if you don't have fire weapons, I suggest you guys start right now going to get your elemental weapons up, because you're going to be using those in the upcoming fights. Thunder is going to play a big part on the next video, I believe, if I'm remembering my monsters correctly. So with that being said, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Thanks so much guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. With that being said, you all take care. Peace.